Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Say hello, say hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, BJ. Hi, everybody. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Ade Shaye. Come on in. Say hello, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. Let me get started on. I think it's not showing me. Q A A C Q N A. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Inka Tola from Dallas. How are you? Hey, come on in, everyone. Happy Tuesday. So, yes, it was federal holiday. Well, Africans don't take holiday. They're always working. We're always working. But technically, it was a federal holiday, Juneteenth. So, today's most people's Monday. How was everyone's weekend? And by now, I think, thank you. I think everyone's kid or kids out of for summer break. So my always mouthy son, the baby TJ, who I call my human birth control because you have TJ and you just close shop. Because if by chance you have yet another one like TJ, you'll probably be in a cycle or something. So, so I already said that when I had my first kid, SJ, Oluwaseyi, he was like, it's not bad. I mean, you can handle kids. Thank him, TJ. And you're like, okay, Jesus, I thank you for the blessings. Let's close shop. But anyway, we're talking this morning. I went to get them for an appointment, and he was like, I'm talking to Somerville, like, well, you're on summer vacation, everything is fine. Oh, something summer vacation is what I said. This mouth the kid is gonna say, well, technically, and once it starts with technically, so whenever he starts with technically, it's not a vacation, it's a summer break. See, that's why some parents end up in jail. Because watching by here, we forget that you're in America, where they can call CPS on you. But then I have to remind myself, I'm one of the CPS attorneys, so I cannot hit the kid and knock him out. So, does anybody else have a kid like that where they're first generation Americans and they feel that somehow your accent and your words that you use are not like American? Okay. But anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale Omobabasamu, immigration lawyer based in Alabama, good old Alabama. Represent immigration clients in all 50 states. Let me touch on a question I get a lot of times because a lot of people with immigration cases comes divorce, custody issue, and all that. And so I get a lot of that question. Okay, can you help me in my divorce case? Keep in mind, because I can represent immigration clients in all states, does not mean I can represent you in every other aspect. So a case or a cause of action like divorce, which is domestic relations, is state specific. So in that case, an attorney must be licensed in your state to represent you in a family law domestic relation case. But anyway, if you need to contact our office regarding your immigration cases, number is 334-341-4475. You can also visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. Send an email to aos@olalayalawfirm.com. There's a lot of information on the website, resources, links to USCI's updated forms, filing fees, visa bulletin, so you know when your expiry date is current. There's a whole lot on our website, and it's very, very easy to navigate, very easy to browse, because I don't do tech stuff. So if it's not easy, I ain't doing it. If I cannot operate it, I'm not going to be, I'm not, when I get on the website and there's a whole lot of information on there, I just cannot. I just can't. Besides legal research, because I got to, you know. But anyway, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to our to YouTube channel, like and share our Facebook page. If you put 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 immigration on all the social media platforms, this girl's face will show up. So anyway, once again, number to contact us is 334-341-4475. I thank you guys for all your support every single day. It means a whole lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And God bless you all. So let's talk immigration. This evening, we are going to get your questions answered. Got questions? Let's get answers. So that's our topic tonight. Let me make sure, can I get my glasses on? I can't complain that, or I can give an excuse that I can't see. So got questions, let's get answers. Q&A with Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. This girl right here. This girl right here. So let's get your questions answered. I just felt, once in a while I try to do that. So it's not always about talking to you about topics. Yeah, because not every topic is going to apply to everybody. That's just the truth, right? So I'm going to start, and go ahead and put your questions in the comment section. Both, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and then I will try. That's what we're doing tonight. So I should be able to get everyone's questions answered. So I'm going to start on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Hello, Mr. West. How are you? I haven't heard from you. How's my boy doing? How is he doing? Let me know how he's doing. Hello, 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐴 Bless. I know that person. Hello, 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐴. Is that the same as 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐴? Hello, Miss Justina Jofo. How are you? How are you doing? All right. Okay. Let me get back that. Can I just sign out? All right. There we go. Okay. 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐴 Bless. I filed my VAWA in December, did biometrics in May. When should I expect to receive my EAD? You guys have heard me say this many times. EAD doesn't have anything to do with when to get your biometrics doesn't have anything to do with when you're going to get your EAD. I'll put it this way. If you've had a prior case where USCIS has had to use your fingerprint, has had to take your fingerprints, a lot more cases now are actually being given notices where they send your notice and say, we're able to reuse your fingerprints, and you would not need to be scheduled for, hello, Egmalicious. That's just a unique username. And you would not need to be scheduled for biometrics. So in that case, how do you say the biometrics affects? Doesn't mean you're going to get your EAD as soon as you file it. No, unless you're a child care worker or healthcare worker where you're able to expedite or request for them to expedite. I have a client who expedited her EAD. I think we sent it in sometime in May, right? And she called. It's a VAWA case, but she converted to, and I think that's the thing, they didn't catch that. She converted to from regular marriage based to a VAWA case, but because she had a pending I-485, and that's the basis for the C9 category. So the C9 was also issued an IOE receipt number. So, and that's not considered confidential. So in their system, you're able to do that. And she got, she requested it on her own. and she got the expedited request granted. I think it was 48 hours after, and her EAD was already been delivered. So unless you're in healthcare, she works in healthcare or childcare, there's not really any correlation between when you have your fingerprints done and when you should receive your EAD. So you go by the processing times, you know, based on, you know, what is how long is it taking Vermont Service Center to process cases. One of the things that because we had AILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association seminar this past 4 days, and one of the people that were the speaker were people from USCIS, and they said that they're trying the best they can to hire more officers, contact center officers, and all that, so that they can combat the backlog. By the same time, by the way, we are anticipating that the filing fees will go up. If you're on the fence about filing anything at the moment, obviously, if it's going to go up, there will be a time frame. But if you are on the fence of filing anything at the moment, you need to get it in now. So one of the ways that they expect to fund the additional staff is by increasing filing fees. Don't kill the messenger, just the messenger. So Shauna Ava Bless, that is what you go by. Go on USCIS.gov present times and see how long it's taking them. It really doesn't have, some people have biometrics done and they get their EAD a month after. But keep in mind that biometric appointment may not have been scheduled until like 5 months or 4 months after their cases were received. So what you need to go by is the present times and see how long it's taking them for your category. Okay. He's going every day about to retaliate on me. You gotta be kidding me. Say hello to him. Okay, let's see. Bukola, my work authorization C9 category is over a year, and I filed for injury after present time. What can I still do? Oh, inquiry. Okay, because I was wondering, like, inquiry. Okay, file for inquiry after present time is over. C9 category, is that, what is it based on? Is it just a regular marriage-based I-130 VAWA case? What is it? Work, employment based. What petition is it based on? But I think it's going to, I'm going to tell you the same thing. If it's still, go and put in your priority date and see if it gives you, because the way USCIS has it now, they streamlined where you can put in your a specific priority date, and it would let you know when is the earliest time you can call them to make an inquiry. If it's still giving you a date later in the future, that means they're still within what they term as normal present times. So that's what I would just say. Based on VAWA. Okay, so obviously you cannot call, but if you put in, I have one that's pending over a year. That's the only one I have, and she is just the sweetest client I have, and that's why it just aggravates me, because we've done emails. God knows, if I sent one more email to Vermont Service Center, they probably would shut my account down. Letter, congressional assistance, and sometimes you may just have to refile the whole thing, because I don't know, it's just unusual, but so it just depends on why it's in. Disclaimer, everybody, like I said on my topic, nothing specific. Answers are not specific to anyone's case. If you need specific answers or legal guidance on your case, you will need to set up a proper paid consultation. Okay. Mark John, good evening. I filed for VAWA and I got my prima facie determination. Talking about prima facie, I filed 2 cases 2 weeks ago. We got 4 VAWA cases out today. One employment, asylum employment. So today, the goal is to get, at least in my head, because the month ends next week. At least 10 of my VAC cases out before the end of the month. So I have 4 out, and I'm hopeful. Like I already say, the longest time frame of processing when it comes to on time is when it gets to me, because I have to review everything. So, but I found 2 weeks ago. That was beginning of June. I want to say the first or second. And we got the prima facie determinations of both cases today. And I'm like, okay, did y'all review it? Like, did y'all really review this? But anyway, yeah. So I got my prima facie determination, though. I had an approved I-130. Will the priority date on my approval be applied to? Technically, yes, but I don't take chances of having them look through their files or whatever. If I have a client who has at one point been the beneficiary of an I-130, let me ask you this, Mark John. So if you was approved, did you now experience abuse after the approval but before your 485 interview, or what happened? Because if you already had it approved, I'm trying to figure out why you. Oh, did you already switch to VAL before it was approved? But anyway, I usually would ask that they transfer. So my cover letter will include, and listen, if y'all want to buy my cover letter, I will give you a template and I can put it on a website for whoever wants to go buy it. But my cover letter, usually, I have all my cases, unless it's a very pretty straightforward, like renewal of employment authorization or, advanced parole, like pretty straightforward. It's just very short paragraph listing what. But VAC cases, my cover letter is very specific to everybody's case, but it can also be templated in the sense of you can narrow it down and tailor it to your specific case, because it addresses all the points and what we have submitted under each of the requirements for VAL cases. So that's how I do mine. Just reminded me of something that I have to. Oh, see, it's not every time I get good news. Today I got a denial of an appeal case. And I got dizzy all of a sudden because I hate that. But, I dealt with it and I told my client, like, okay, so let's see what the other options are. It's not, sometimes nobody likes bad news. But that's immigration. That's just immigration. But what I would do is, like, Mark John, you can go ahead and send a letter to them with a copy of your I-130 approval notice and ask them to transfer your priority date on that I-130 to your I-360. Okay. In 2020, I filed, this is Edna. They sent me my E80, then I did the renewal, my E80 since November 2021. I still haven't heard anything. It's still within, I can tell you that it's still within normal processing time. But like I said, go ahead and check. Knowledge is power, people. Go online and check. It's not the fact that somebody got theirs in 5 months doesn't mean you're going to get yours in 5 months, because theirs may be just a regular marriage-based case and being processed out of Texas Service Center something or National Benefit Center. Yours is going to be a VAL case processed from just one, because if you are starting from scratch, and that means your case is solely at Vermont Service Center, keep in mind that's the only service center that processes VAL cases. So all VAL cases are all directed into one office. So it makes sense that it may take much longer than a regular marriage-based case. So, but knowledge is power. Go online, USCI's present times, put in your priority date. Then you would know if you should be worried or not, because just saying I haven't received. Okay, then what do you want to do about that if you don't have any basis to panic? If it's outside normal present times, then you can start to do everything I have done for my client that I just so desperately want to get her E80. Okay. I'll switch to Instagram soon. Let me see. Mark, after it was approved is when you applied. Okay, and you'll have to apply E80 since I got prima facie determination has nothing to do with you being able to work. Prima facie determination just allows you, gives you the authorization of applying for state and or federal benefits. If you want a work permit, then you must have filed a 485 or switch your 485 over to your VAWA case. If you don't have an attorney helping you, Mark John, you want to sit down and consult with a lawyer so you know exactly what you're supposed to do. Okay. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody's questions. So let's see. Joseph Kaloko, is there any good news for asylum people in court removal proceedings? How do you mean? Everyone's case is different. What do you mean by good news? What are you expecting? Okay, let me take one more on YouTube and Facebook, and then I will switch over. Agatha Small, VA approved after 18 months. Congratulations. Transferred to another office 13 months. And now in June, I received a request for evidence letter where I asked for medical examination. So I'm going to use your question to let people know. And a lot of people ask me, okay, VA approved, then what next? So Agatha, can you tell me, did you have an I-130? Did you switch from an I-130? Can you let me know, Agatha, if you switch from an I-130? You were asked for a medical examination within 2 months. Is this a good sign or not? And because the appointment for, yes, you did. As I was going to say, did you request the I-1? So if you look on your VA approval, does it have the date that the I-130 was filed? On your approval, I guess, does it have the date that your I-130 was filed as your priority date? Yes, no, or you didn't take note. So whenever your VA petition is approved, because everything is, with you with Vermont, once they approve it, perfect. So let me use her case. Agatha Small's case. Her VA petition was approved in 18 months. When you file a new VA petition, it can take upwards of 2.5 years. 2 years, 2.5, nothing less than 24 months. However, in her case, it took 18 months because she has the priority date of an I-130 that she was the beneficiary of transferred to an I-360. So basically, it would look like she had filed the I-360 on the day that the I-130 was filed. And so that's where it's LP, because some people, like my friend's case, was approved 4 months. And this actually happened to someone who filed the case in December and it was approved in April. Because they had filed, the I-130 that was filed for them was filed in 2017. So at the time they even submitted a VA case, they were way 2 years into cases, the date they were processed. So they had to take care of his. So that's why your cases may have different processing times. So, we tend to compare, but everyone's case is specific. You've got to know what the history of someone's case is. Because people tell, 2 weeks, look about, you must submit one I-360, 2 weeks ago to approve it, and then you start to panic. But then did you ask the right questions? Okay, to go for I-130, you've got to ask questions. And if they're not willing to give you more details, just, take it with a pinch of salt and keep it moving. But Ms. Small, that's what happened in her case. And whenever the VA petition is approved, then Vermont Service Center will transfer your file to the USCIS field office that will now adjudicate your 485. So Ms. Small, in your case, you probably had a pending 485, right? And did your letter come from the RFE for the medical examination? Did it come from your field office that you already had your I-485 pending at? Most likely it did, unless you had moved. But that they would send you a transfer notice for the most part transfer your file, because Vermont Service Center is not going to schedule you for an interview for the VA. Your field office will determine if they're going to schedule you for an interview. Now, when you get an RFE, like in Miss Small's case, for a medical examination, the question I have for you is this: the RFE, was it an actual RFE you got, or did you get a deficiency notice for the medical examination? So if you answer that, and the reason I'm asking is this: if it's an actual RFE, obviously I can't talk about your case, but if they sent you an RFE for the medical examination, most likely they will not schedule you for an interview. Okay, let me see her timeline now. It was November 2018. So if you look at it, that's being so it was approved May. Was it May this year? So our case had been pending, and she had a priority date of November 2018. So that makes a big difference in your VAWA case. So before you compare, make sure you're comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges, okay? And it was approved. Let me put this back up so everyone can see it on Facebook or YouTube. Then it was approved in May, and then it was transferred. And in June, and it was transferred, and then in June, they sent your exam request with a deadline of 2 months to be. So they sent you an RFE. So most likely, and this is not specific to your case, but going with cases in my firm, whenever we get an RFE just for the medical examination, and we send that in, those clients usually do not get interview notices. The next thing we get is we approved your I-485. So once you send that in, Ms. Small, keep me updated and let me know that if that's how it goes. But it's a good sign in the sense of they're now working on, because your medical examination is linked to your 485. And so that means they are working on your case. So once you send that in, most likely the next update you'll probably get will be, we approved your I-485 application to register permanent residency. That's and I hope you come back and tell me you were absolutely right, because I like to be right. Yes, I am. Okay. Alex Johnson, can you please help with a prosecutorial discretion for asylum case at the immigration court? You would have to set up a proper paid consultation so we can discuss your case, first of all. You're welcome, Ms. Small, and congratulations. Listen, my heart, let me tell you guys, I was up till, so I'm in my own office. I worked from home yesterday, and I think from when I came into this office at, I want to say 10:30-ish, 10:30. I had like 5 consultations in between. I don't think I left this office until about 11 p.m. Reviewing cases, sending it out. So, because I print some and I have someone who comes to help me print, because all my assistants are virtual now, except one lady comes in to print. So it was like a straight up 12 hours, all of our cases. And I had one that has a super, super sweet, just the strength of this woman I have never seen, and her 4 kids. Just to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel with everything she's been through. I just love to be able to see immigrants free themselves from misery, because you've got to free yourself. That's why VAWA was made. You've got to free yourself, Okay. All righty. So Mr. Alex Johnson, you will need to set up a proper paid consultation for that. Okay. Let me go to Instagram. All right, let's see. Hello, talker from Nigeria. What time is it in what time is it in Nigeria? Are we 6 hours ahead or 5 hours? Listen, I don't know. That's why we're in law school, so I didn't do math, unless it has a dollar sign in front of it. $10 and I can add. Hello. Thank you, Sonia. How are you? Okay. Let's see. I know this person. I know that person. I'm not gonna say his name because he's my client. Like malicious. Okay. SSJGJ. If the processing time for my case now is 26 months, should I extend my case to process into this time? I don't know about your case. So you would have to go on the USCIS, the Gov website, like I said, and put in your priority date. As a green card holder traveling abroad, how long can I stay abroad and still maintain my continuous physical presence in the United States? If you're planning to apply for citizenship anytime, generally you're advised not to, because you the last thing you want to do is to break your continuous presence, continuous residency requirement. But if you're not worried about that and you're just wondering how long you can stay in order not to lose your green card, then you don't want to stay more than a year. If you're going to be staying more than a year, you want to apply for re-entry permit before you leave. It will just depend on how long you're staying abroad. Some people don't plan to ever apply for citizenship. So a friend of mine filed I-751 for her 10 years and she's about to get divorced now. So are they still going to renew her green card? I think you've asked me that question before. Generally, if you file 751 and if it's a joint petition, right now they have the discretion of approving cases without an interview. However, keep this in mind. If you get your 10-year green card approved based on joint filing the 751 and they waive an interview in your case, when you are ready to apply for citizenship, they will go back and look in your file and make sure that at the time you became a legal permanent resident and the time you got your 10-year green card, you were eligible for that status based on your filing. If they go back and they see that you were already divorced before they issued that, then that may affect your good moral character, and they have a right to say you were not eligible to become a legal permanent resident and transfer to immigration court. So it's not a case of should she or should that's listen to each their own. If you feel well, can you just won't let they don't look okay. That's all I'm gonna say. So your friend will need to consult. Your friend will need to consult with an immigration lawyer. Salami. Oh, salami. Okay, salami. Okay, y'all just have some usernames. If I want to schedule for consultation, how much, please? Consultation is 130 for 30 minutes, 200 for 45 minutes, and 230 for an hour. I attended an interview last year and I got notice this year that the interview has been canceled. What does this mean? I have no clue. How do you attend an interview and it was canceled if you've already attended the interview? I'm not sure I understand your question. If you have citations and you paid for it, does it affect your green card? It depends on what those citations are for. If it's speeding, general traffic violations, for the most part, in most states will not do anything. But I don't know about your case, so I can't tell you whether or not it will. But generally, speeding or traffic violations, not criminally charged. Traffic violations fall under criminal cases in most states, but they're called violations for a reason. Sexy Dre's, what did you miss? Hello, Miss Geraldine. We're just doing questions and a Q&A session this night. Okay. Tell you back or ask this question. Okay, that's the second time asking. I see that. All right, I've seen that. Okay, gifted 7715. Will the department refer to the former marriage before getting married to an abuser, although, okay, what's the rest of your question? Will law department refer to the former marriage before getting married to an abuser? I'm not sure I understand your question. Okay. And if you're still waiting on me to respond to an email, please give me till tomorrow because I have criminal defense court tomorrow morning, and so what should I do after my prima facie determination is expired? You can't. Normally, they would send an extension without a request, but if you haven't received one, you can write them or ask your lawyer to request one on your behalf. The Yenny, in that cases, are we taking the medical exam twice or once? Medical exams is just once. It's not, the medical exam is not linked to VA. Medical examination is linked to your 45. At the time the 45 is going to be adjudicated, if your medical examination is already expired, meaning it's way past the time frame, then they will request that you do another one. That's why when I send a VA case out, I don't require my clients to have medical exam because it's going to be sitting there for 2 years. So, 7333, good to see you, ma'am. Our Lord Jesus Christ will continue to bless you abundantly. Amen. Amen. I mean, Jesus, thank you. Can someone on a VA case buy house property? It depends on the bank, the loan, mortgage company, your bank, all of that. That's state specific. There's nothing that says, because a prima facie determination allows you to apply for public benefits. Buying a house has to do with status and what the bank would accept. So, I have a lot of clients who are on H-1B visas that have homes, and it's not a permanent visa, but they anticipate that they will eventually stay here, but so everything it's case by case, depending on what company you're dealing with. Fad and I-130 Candy. In August 2019, I requested an update, but was informed that my case is delayed because of security check. What does this mean, and how long does it take? That's their generic response. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. What I can tell you is this: whenever that is the case, because that's the generic response to give, they most likely are still doing some investigation. So it's not time for you to just fold your hands or you go your separate ways. They will come pay you unannounced visits, just so you know. No driver's license now. I don't think so. But I don't know about your case still, so. 𝐸𝐥𝐴01. I cannot tell you if they're called in for interview or not. That's completely what USCIS decides. Sonia, it's not just about as long as staying out of the country. You have to go, if you go on the N400 instructions, N400 form, in USCIS N400 form, go look in the instructions and it will tell you what is required for physical presence in continuous residency. If you need that to be applied to your specific case, then we can set up a consultation to help you understand how long specifically you can stay out of the country and what effect it would have. Townward Cooks, thank you. Okay, Gifted. What I mean is that will they refer to the old marriage before getting married to an abuser? Although I submitted my divorce certificate, this is about application. Okay, I'm going to try to explain your question and let me know if that's because I still don't understand what you mean by would they refer to old marriage. Gifted 7715. Did you marry someone in the past? where you had filed paperwork, and was that filing denied for whatever reason, you got divorced from the person, then remarried, and now you married the abuser, which your VAW case is based on. And are you asking if the issues or the grounds for denial in the first marriage or the first filing, will that be factored in your current case? Is that what you're asking? Gifted 7715. Let me know. Hello, Mr. Richard. How are you, Mr. Rashid? Yes, sir. Thank you. Tower Cooks, what's your real name? Thank you. And I think a paid gifted, I think a paid consultation will be better so you can understand the process. Yeah. Thank you. But if that's your question, must you have a valid Niger international passport to apply for green card now? Lucky Tom. Thank you for what you do. Coming live after a long day to update and give me more information. Thank you. And it's been a long day. And I have to be up tomorrow because I have court at 9 a.m. And I'm not a morning person. I don't know if I've told you guys. Like, I remember growing up, my dad used to say, oh, if you have mama, like, he's coming, have mama. Like, if you are little. Because if they woke me, I don't know if my mom is here. If you woke me up in the morning, everybody's going to have a bad day. Everybody. So, but listen, nobody tells you when you become an adult, especially when you have kids, that your life changes. You know, you have more respect for your mother because you're like, oh, you mean to tell me this is the whole thing that cost you the whole time I was growing up? It's not easy being an adult. You give up a whole lot. But we all pray that we'll reap the fruits of our labor. That's all we can pray. Can I change my lawyer even if my current lawyer already put in my case? You can always switch lawyers at any time, but keep in mind, not every lawyer would. You want to set up a consultation. Okay, Sonia, if you go to our website, olalayelawfirm.com, on the very first page, you will see a link to be able to set up your consultation. Just click on that link and it would walk you through payment, putting in your information, and it would also give you your Zoom link all in one. Everything is set up. Just go through it and everything comes to your email. Thank you, Kane. Okay, do you need to file VAW cancellation removal if the regular VAW has been approved? Tella, I'm assuming you are in removal proceedings because that's the only place where you're eligible to file cancellation. If you're in removal proceedings and you have a VAW approved, generally, once again, not about your case, generally, if you have a pending 45, then you can, based on the approval of your VAW petition, seek for secretarial discretion to terminate proceedings so you can deal with USCIS because you have an approved case. There won't be any point in your situation to have to apply for cancellation removal and having to prove hardship to yourself and all that, because you've already proven that whole thing one time. But the good thing about VAW cancellation removal is it doubles as your green card application. And so some people prefer that, but there's a whole lot of questions to be asked. So that's any updates and backlogs. And there are people who say interviews will be 2025. What interviews? Is it not embassy or what? Married before I entered the US, but now I'm married American citizen and I was abused. So I'm thinking if they would ask me a question about the first marriage. Generally, what you need to show is that you were divorced, legally divorced. I mean, you're legally free to marry your abuser because you must have a qualified relationship. Can I file for VAW in special immigrant juvenile status? My 2 kids. Do you know what it entails for special immigrant juvenile status? You have to get a dependency order from a state court, because it's not a straightforward thing like a VAW, because it's the same form. However, it's not the same thing. If you're going to be filing for VAWA and your children are under the age of 21, why wouldn't you just add them to your VAWA petition and then file the green card applications based on that? And that is Annie's vintage valid. Because especially immigrant juvenile, you have to start with state court first and get the proper documentation you need. Have a court declare them dependent. Tower Cooks, you got to tell me what please DM me after and let me know what your real name is. Send a DM to her. She's prompt to respond. I got to know. Obviously, you sent me a DM and you go, well, I got to know. So a person can use an expired Nigerian passport and still apply for a green card. Generally, someone can apply for a green card but if you're traveling out of the country, obviously, you must have a valid passport. How long do K1 visas taking to process? Forever. It's really annoying. So I have one that's pending a year now. I think we'll get an approval soon. And then I had another one that was approved in 9 months. You just never know with USCIs. You just never know. Listen, I'm still trying to figure them out. How long before you can file to remove condition after a divorce? You don't have to wait 2 years. If you're filing, hear me loud and clear. A lot of people don't know this, and I've said it several times. If you're filing your 751 petition to remove conditions of residency, and you're filing a self petition, meaning good faith divorce, good faith abuse, extreme hardship, you're not required to wait the 2 years, 90 days, or 42 second year. No, you're not. The only basis or the only requirement to wait the 2 years is if you're filing jointly with your spouse. If you're not filing jointly with your spouse, whenever on any of those waiver grounds become available to you, you are eligible to file your 751. If after your vow has been approved, meaning 10 years, and you're still married, can you file for naturalization? And after 9 months, because you're still married? Meaning 10 years and you're still married. 9 months. Why would you file naturalization after 9 months? The law is 3 years, whether you're married or not. Based on the vow, the only difference with that is you're not required to be married to the person as long as the person's a citizen and you've been a green card holder for 3 years. Okay. You filed for VAWA July 2021. You check the present time and it shows April 2022. That's incorrect. There's no how. First of all, and I'll tell you why that's incorrect. Because there is no longer the time as far as the date they're working on visible on USCIS.gov website. Okay. So I'm going to use your example. I'm just going to do it real quick. USCIS processing times. And this is S_SGJ. All right. You cannot find processing times as far as, okay, you put it in and they tell you they were working on because they have changed that. Now, if you file for VAWA and you get processing time, I'm going to take this out. You're not on Facebook or YouTube, but I'm going to see how I can share my screen for those on here. Okay, share screen. And I'm going to use, let's see. Okay, here we go. So you said you filed July 1st, July 2021. So if you're on YouTube and Facebook, are y'all able to see my screen? Can you tell me yes or no? Facebook and YouTube, and I'll just tell you what it is on Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, are you able to see my screen? Let me charge my computer here before it dies. Put it right about here. Okay, just look a little bit. Tell me if you can see my screen on Somebody just tell me if you can see what I'm sharing on YouTube. And okay, perfect. All right, so let me go back there. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to use S_SGJ. So you're not going to see, if you see my screen on YouTube and Facebook, I360 Violence Against Women Vermont Service Center, because as you can see from the Dropbox list, that's the only option, because that's the only service center that processes violent cases. You click on Get Processing Time. It's taking estimated 26 months. This basically means that is how long it is taking them to process your kind of case based on the number of pending cases they have. Basically, the number, how long it's taking them to process 80% of those cases. Now we're going to go down here. You see where it says when is your receipt date? I'm going to put in, I'm just going to assume that since you said July 1st, 2021, I'm going to put in July. You said July 2021. I'll put in July 1st, 2021. Okay. And then you click on Get Inquiry Date. The earliest date that you can start making inquiries and saying your case is outside normal processing time is no earlier than April 15, 2024. So they're not working on on April 2022. No. It's taking them about 26 months. So that means that even if you're going 26 months, you're not even thinking earlier than August 2023. August, September 2023. And then they say give or take an additional 180 days. So that's that. Okay, let's see. All right. Hope that helps. Alrighty, what's the time? Filed for I-751 in 2020. I was called for an interview in 2022 May. I had an interview with my spouse and lawyer. It went well, and after 3 weeks, just sent a mail due to mail. Okay, I don't think your question is complete. Mail sale due to unforeseen circumstances. I'm not. What's? Oh, you were the one saying that canceled the interview and reschedule and send a notice. So did they schedule for a second interview? You have to ask your lawyer what's going on, especially if you have a lawyer. How do I get my I-360 receipt notice number? They should have sent your receipt notice. It will be in your receipt notice. Yada Maji, see the kind of prayer I'm praying for you, and you will live long and in sound health. Amen. You're saving us a lot of trouble. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do I get a copy of the forms that submit to USCIS? Do a FOIA request. If you Google USCIS FOIA request, and it's very self-explanatory. After divorce, do you wait 3 years before removal of conditions, or you can file immediately? You don't have to wait 2 years. Okay. If an expedite request is coming up in 60 days and notice, you should not be worried. Just contact them again, is what I would say. Okay, let me go back on Facebook and YouTube, and then we'll call it a night. Where did I stop? Oh, okay. Y'all got a lot of questions. Okay, let me take this one. Harvey Zen, I-360 485 765 were filed with the receipt date of February 7, 2022, biometrics in April 2022, and prima facie May 2022. Will I start counting the processing time of EAD from receipt? Yes. Okay, Joseph, I applied for asylum 4 years ago and was sent to the court for removal proceedings. My son is presently in Nigeria and sick. Can I travel, or any good news for me? You cannot travel. No, you cannot. Number one, because you're seeking asylum, you cannot travel. Obviously, you cannot travel back to Nigeria because you're seeking asylum from there. Number two, if you are in removal proceedings, you cannot apply for advanced parole unless you are voluntarily departing the United States, and that basically is you say my case is over. Mark John, can I get template to request my I-130 day to transfer to? You can pay for it. That's my work product, but it's just a general Hey, I was a beneficiary of 9130. I'm asking you to transfer my priority date. I forget the section, but I can put that on my website where you can quote that, the section of the law that states that. Okay. Can I travel to my country with my resident card won by asylum? So you're talking of a green card. Keep in mind that if you don't have a green card yet and you're in asylee status, you must maintain that definition of refugee asylee status up until you get a green card, and that includes that your country is it's still not safe for you. If you're going back to that place and you're in asylee, you may be stuck there. Okay. Andrew Lopez, I filed 400 citizens for my father about 2 weeks ago. Still, I'm waiting for USCIS notice letter, but I got someone phone call from Chicago. Their father name also same cast, same green card. I have no idea what you're asking me. Same father name, same. I don't know what your question is. Hello, Mr. Adebayo. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay. When God's got me, when can a U.S. citizen who recently just got his citizenship through marriage remarry and file for his new spouse? Is in the process of divorce. So if you got your green card through marriage, you cannot remarry uh, for at least 5 years unless you're able to prove that your marriage through which you got your green card was good faith. So you would have to prove two good faith instances in your current marriage and then in the one that you got your green card from. If at the time you're finding for this new spouse, it hasn't been still within the 5 year period. So if you can wait the 5 year period, then I would rather advise that you do that. Jose J. I was married to a citizen and I have a vow in EOS pending. I have an approved I-130. Can I transfer my priority date to my vow case? I am assuming that you mean an approved I-130 because you put I-131. Do you mean I-130? Jose J. I'm going to assume that that's what you mean. And if that's what you mean, then yes, you can transfer your priority date. Okay. All right, people. That's all she wrote. So if we can help you with your immigration cases, contact our office. Contact number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website, olalayalawfirm.com. Please share it. And like a Facebook page, subscribe to a YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And I thank you all for all your prayers. They mean a lot. There are days I feel like you know what? Oh Lord, why so much? But then I remember why I signed up for it, and that's because everybody's got a calling. I truly, truly know and believe that this is my calling. Don't even know what else I would be doing if I was in practice immigration law. I do criminal defense and family law, but this is what I do 85% of the time, if not 90. Yeah. But anyway, people, thank you so much for joining me. You mean I-130? Yes, Jose. And how do you request? That's why I said USCIS. Just Google USCIS FOIA, FOIA. And it's an online request and it's very self-explanatory. So you should be fine. Okay. All right, everyone. I will see you guys next time.